The last accessibility tool I'd like to feature within iOS is something called Speech Controller. So if you hadn't seen the prior videos, I'm inside the accessibility settings. So you'll want to open up your settings app. Down the left-hand panel, you'll want to click on accessibility. And then over on the right panel, you're going to click on that second to last one under vision, that first section called spoken content. And when I get here, it's the third option down. Right now my speech controller is showing as off, so I'm going to go over and click that on. And then as the text there below suggests, I have a couple of options. I can get the controller, which is this little bar here, that I can move around on my screen, and I can go back to a side option or move it out of the way. I can get it simply to read all the content, which I can do with either the play button or by long pressing on text that appears on my screen. The other option available, and I'll demonstrate this in a second, is getting it to read, the section of text, the paragraph or sentence that is immediately underneath your finger when you just tap on the screen. So let's go over and take a look at these options as they exist with an actual piece of text content. So I'm using this website, Teaching Kids News, for these demonstrations. It's a kid-friendly, audience, or the stories are for a student audience. And I'm going to pick this one here from recent news. Now again, demonstrated this in another video. If I just try to get it to read all of this screen, it's going to read all of the different menus and the ads down the side. It reads alternate text for each of the social media apps up in the top right corner. So what I want to do is to take the main content of this and put it into something that's easier to recognize for text-to-speech tools. So up at the very top here, I have, next to my search bar there, I have these two little capital A's, a smaller and a larger one. When I tap on those up at the top, it gives me this menu option, and I'm going to get it to show what's called Reader View. So when I do that, it takes the main content of the page and it strips out that main content. It leaves everything else behind. All the ads, all of the social media app icons and links are all out, and I now just have the content that I want to work with. So if I open up this tool and I press play, or I do this and long press on this first word up here at the top, it's going to attempt to read back all of that content. Because I also have the Speak Selection tool enabled, it will give me the option to continue to use that tool, so I could get it just to speak just that content.
World leaders meet in Scotland on climate change.
In this case, though, what I want it to do is to read, all of the content.
World leaders meet in Scotland on climate change, November 1st, 2020.
Which is just like it would have been if we were doing speak screen. This toolbar is just the same for that function. The one that's a little different is if I wanted to start reading from this second paragraph of text down here, I can open up my toolbar there and click on the little hand where it's pointing at something or a section of text, and then I can drag through this second paragraph or simply touch and tap on it.
The meeting is called COP, Conference of the Parties, referring to the countries that participated in the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Climate Agreement. This year's meeting is known as COP26 because it is the 26th time the meeting has been held.
So you notice a couple things there. It started and stopped just within that paragraph. It doesn't continue to read. I also didn't have the same pause controls and things available to me up here on this menu. And the other thing is it doesn't track the text as it's reading. So for some students, this will be, a really quick and great option, something that they want to have available to them and off to the side. For others, either the speak selection or speak screen options will be a better fit. So again, it's all about kind of tailoring this to the particular learning needs and challenges that a student might encounter when they're reading material on an iPad.